how many adult beverages would you think it would take to truly enjoy this movie?
All of them.
Okie dokie. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to Movies and Models. Nope. Welcome to Models and Movies. I should learn the name of my channel. Today I have with me the very lovely Nova.
Hi.
Good job. Okay. Anyway, and Nova is a very nice model that we were supposed to shoot months ago for a thing, and something happened. What happened?
I totaled my car.
Yeah, that was a bummer. I really
was.
feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Like, I forgot to oil these
sucked.
chairs. They were just squeaky. But this time you did not crash your car. You're here
did not
and you
crash
shot.
my car.
And we watched a movie. We watched a Serbian film, and this is it's kind of a family film for the holidays. So I would recommend, getting grandma, get her liquored up, and sit her down, watch a Serbian film. Nope, that's not what we watched. What did we watch?
Looker.
The 1981 film. I don't know what to call it. It's a film. It's a 1981 film written and directed by a very famous Michael Crichton. And he got better. But before we review this film, we're going to talk about the beers of the show.
Oh.
Nova, what do you have?
I have the New Belgium Snapshot.
And
It's
why?
a tart wheat beer.
Why are we drinking Snapshot? Pretty much because there's a picture of a camera on the front, and it's called Snapshot, and this movie is kind of about models and the modeling agencies. And
Is
the
it really
industry.
bad that I did not put that?
No. Anyway, I have Blast. It's from the Brooklyn company. It's a double IPA, so I should hate it. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, so I'm going to pour this into here.
I shall follow suit.
Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Good job.
I can barely hold this glass.
Actually, that's pretty good.
I sniff everything before I try.
I should have sniffed it, but I don't know. Not bad, not bad.
Just hit my tooth.
Is that what I heard? Are you sure you have all your teeth left? I mean, that was loud. All right. I'm probably going to do a montage of you going tung, 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 tung. Yeah, that's going to be good. Okay, you don't really have to drink that if you don't want to. I mean, it sounds like
I need like 2 seconds to recollect myself.
It does sound like it's already a danger. Mm-hmm.
You're just gonna. This whole thing is just gonna be me giggling.
Yeah,
like the whole
that's okay.
time.
Let's talk about how people can find you if they wanted to see some of the pictures that you have done in the past.
Well, probably the place where you would get the most of my things would be Instagram.
Yes.
Because I post there daily.
One day I'm going to figure out Instagram and actually use it.
I just got lucky. I don't know what the hell happened.
You have 1 million subscribers or followers?
36,000.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of people might actually see this video this time.
Yay!
Thank you for understanding social media.
Yes.
Okay.
Instagram, Nova_Amour, AMOUR.
It's right here. You can't screw this up. And there will also be a link in the description. It'll take you right to her very beautiful pictures. What type of modeling would you say that you do?
Mostly fine art nudes. You're gonna see boobs, but no nipples, because nipples are a no-no on Instagram.
They're evil.
They're evil.
I mean, they'll ruin people's childhoods.
Exactly.
It's sad. Okay, so let's get into this film that we watched, Looker. So the first thing, sorry. The first thing that we talk about in this show is the plot of the movie.
Oh, I thought we were going to go and order the movie. So I'm like, toes. No, we're going to talk about toes.
No, we're not. You never know. We'll kind of get there along the way. But so let's talk about the plot of Looker. So it's about modeling and plastic surgery.
And murder.
And corporate espionage.
Yes.
Then there's some political stuff involved. It's very convoluted. There's a flashy light gun.
Flashy light gun. Actually, the political aspect was quite fitting for today.
Yes.
I'm
Today,
actually-
we're filming this on Election Day.
Yes.
So we have not paid any attention to media or news today. We have no idea what's going on.
Thankfully.
Yeah, we got a reprieve.
Yes.
Did you vote?
I did.
Good.
I mailed in a
Good.
ballot.
I'm not even going to ask you who because it's none your business.
None your business.
That's right. Anyway, Trump sucks. Anyway, so let's talk about kind of how this movie starts. And it starts off kind of with a bang. What happens?
I wish it started with a murder because that would have been
It
a
did.
hilarious pun. No, it didn't. It started with the commercial.
Okay, well, it started off with a silly commercial.
Yeah.
Oh, mirror, mirror on the wall, how can I be sure that Bill will call?
Well, of course, you are very beautiful.
Well, that's sweet of you.
But I'm afraid there's one thing you lack.
Tell me, mirror, what is that?
Ravish.
About Ravish, which
Ravish.
is apparently a new fragrance from some company. I don't know,
Yes.
but it was done in the same tradition of Calvin Klein commercials and stuff
Pretty
like that.
woman, low cut.
Yeah,
you know.
it looked like timeless. It could have been something that they
Yeah.
did last year, except for the cheesy.
The hair and the
Where sh-
makeup
oh, yeah.
and the quality of
Well,
the video.
you weren't alive in the '80s.
No.
That was hot.
I did like her makeup a little bit. A little bit. I did.
A lot of the '80s music makeup is
color.
kind of coming back, except for the wild blues and very very pink things. But they did some sort of highlighting back then.
Yeah.
So that's all
which
coming
is
back.
very big now. But yeah, she
Yeah.
had color all the way up to her eyebrow.
I can't wait for the highlighting
Nobody
to just
does
go
that.
away because everybody looks like a fake face.
I have contour and highlight on.
What? Really?
Yeah, I just blend it out nicely, so it looks
Oh,
more
well, you're just good at blending.
realistic.
That's probably what that is.
Yeah, you gotta blend.
Well, I'll tell you what. When you look into this camera, you're going to see some really awesome green tinge on the side of your face from this green screen back here. It's good. Yeah. Actually, I fixed that. Anyway,
Okay.
moving along. So we see a terrible commercial of a girl who puts perfume between her toes.
And dab a bit between your toe.
My toe?
Yes, I literally have in my notes written here her toe question mark question mark question
You
mark.
never know.
You never know. You gotta put the perfume in between your toes.
So let's go on to what happens after the commercial. You get your murder.
The lady in the commercial, you get the murder. Yes, and
But before the murder, her doorbell rings 5 times.
She's a looker. Well, hi, honey.
5 times. And she has a robe on, and
Yeah.
when she goes to answer the door, she takes off the robe.
And that's how you would greet a lover, boyfriend, friend,
I mean, I guess
pollster.
if you're not worried about your
Delivery
neighbors, if you're not worried about your neighbors,
well,
like,
she was living in a high-rise, so
I guess.
apparently they're very friendly there because when she did open the door, and then something weird happened, she just left the door open, and then she walked back into her room,
Yes.
and she's just dazed. She doesn't know what's
Right.
going on, and her little dog too.
I have written dog's best actor so far.
You know what? I'm really glad that you said that because I almost said that while we were watching it. I'm like, that dog is totally stealing
dog-
the scene from her.
The real star of the film is the
So
dog.
I don't know who the actress was. She was a Playboy model who turned actor or whatever. I'll look it up and put it on the screen. But she was not a very good actress.
No.
She had a very flat butt. Underwear back then did not fit very well.
No.
No.
It was like a bikini, but it like came up all the way on the sides.
I can't wait for High Side to come back, by the way.
Really?
That's,
I kind of dig
my
it.
thing, yeah.
I like the bodysuits with them.
Okay, so she fingers a case because that's what you do. That's what you do if a case just shows
She
up
didn't
on your
like
bed.
finger it. It was more like she caressed it. She was like,
You know I have to super zoom up on that now. Okay, so thank you for that. So basically what happened was she opened the door, something happened. She turns around and there's a weird case on the bed that's
Yeah.
open and there's a weird indentation on it and she
Yes.
has to investigate what that thing is because
by doing this.
if all of a sudden something showed up in your bed, you would investigate.
No, I'd be out of there.
Yeah,
Bye.
that's what most people would do, but not her. Anyway, so she ends up dying. How?
First she gets tangled up in curtains, literally like.
She does a dance with the curtains.
Yes, she twirls and twirls and twirls in the curtains.
Yeah.
And then flips over her balcony.
She took a lot of effort doing that, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, they should have made a lower balcony so she could have just fallen over instead of, like, she had to literally hurl herself over. Yeah.
She did, like, one of those, like, perfectly circular flips over. Yeah.
All right, so that's how the movie starts, basically. And then we meet Dr. Roberts. Dr. Roberts is well, we're going to get to characters in a minute, but we meet the plastic surgeon who's been doing plastic surgery on all these women. And the woman who we meet is, I don't know who she is. Is she Susan or Tina or Lisa? I'm not really sure who it is.
I think Lisa...
Tina, no, it wasn't Tina. It wasn't Tina, and Lisa died, so it must have been Susan.
Okay, I guess.
This must be Susan.
Susan, the one that was, like, freaking out, like, I'm gonna die? Oh.
Or that was... Crap, I can't even remember what was going on now. But anyway, she says that her areola is 2 millimeters
She says it just like that.
too circular or something like that.
And my areolar distance is 5 millimeters.
Yeah.
She's going over all the very, very minute things about her face that are wrong.
3 millimeters too high, her cheekbones were.
And her nose is 0.2 millimeters
too thin.
Thin?
She said too thin.
Was it too thin?
Too thin.
I've never heard of that before.
I remember thinking,
I can cut cheese with my nose. It's too thin. So if you have any idea how small 0.2 millimeters is, 0.2 millimeters is, you can't even, it's like 4 hair thicknesses. That's how wide 2.2 millimeters is. It's ridiculous.
Pointless. I wrote, yay Vivaldi, go Baroque music.
Oh, that's right. So when he's doing the surgery, he's listening to what? Vivaldi?
Yeah, he's listening to Vivaldi.
Are you a big fan of classical music?
I'm a classical musician.
All right, so when you see the pictures that we take, you're gonna shit yourself because not only is she gorgeous and great body and an amazing model, but you also are
a classical singer. Yes. Not opera though, and I mean I've done a couple operas, but.
Okay. Anyway.
What was that laugh?
I'll tell you later.
Oh God. Okay.
So something interesting that happens in this film is that it has a very similar vibe to a very, very good movie by Stanley Kubrick called The Shining, because they use the same font and the same like day progression. So it tells you when it's Friday and when it's Saturday and Sunday, just like in The Shining, which I believe came out the year prior.
Good morning.
So way to go, Michael Crichton, stealing from a master to make your crappy movie a little bit better.
Yay.
It didn't really work. Not so much. All right, so we find out about this company called Digital Matrix.
Yes.
Digital Matrix is the company that. But before that, I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. We see one of the best stunts. You know what? Let's this. Let's just go into the characters because this is going to blend into the plot, and I've done this on every show now, and it's difficult to talk about the plot without talking about the characters.
Right.
It's impossible to talk about the characters without talking about the plot. So let's get to the characters.
The characters.
The characters. So we have 4 women: Tina, Lisa, Cindy, Susan.
Yeah.
Cindy is the
always
main girl.
Yes.
The girl who doesn't die. Oops, spoiler. Shit. Anyway.
We're gonna have to cut that out.
Oh, damn. Shit. So Dr. Roberts is the plastic surgeon. He is the main character.
And he did plastic surgery on all the ladies.
He did. And these girls are dying off. And so we have 2 very incompetent detectives who are trying to figure out that he did it. And they made it very easy for him because his pen and his his suit button was left at the scene of the crime. Now,
they did not mention that anywhere in the film, by the way.
they really didn't.
They just showed you the shot.
The pen they did mention.
Yes.
But not the button, so whatever.
Yeah.
And if these cops were any good detectives, they would understand that these were planted evidence because it was so obviously placed.
Perfectly on the bed.
Anyway, so we have, then we have, the actual murderer who is, what did you name him?
70s Will Ferrell.
Oh, and he is so 70s Will Ferrell.
He's like Ron Burgundy, but with a little more of a fro.
Very, very much so. I agree.
Feral.
He's the bad guy, and he's doing all the murdering.
You said murder like that lady said areola.
Areolas. You would think that as a woman you would know how to pronounce all your body pieces.
Oh,
But
you'd be surprised.
maybe she has a clitoris. I don't know. Okay, so shortly after the first murder, we meet Tina, who comes back into Dr. Roberts' office, and she wants to be turned back because she's scared.
Change your back? What's wrong?
Because I'm too perfect. Because they're going to kill me, that's why.
Because she doesn't want to die.
Because Tina and Lisa have already been...
She said
I'm
she's
sorry.
too perfect.
Lisa and Susan have already been killed.
Yes.
Or she thinks they're killed.
Tina, what are you talking about?
Dr. Roberts doesn't want to do it because,
What's the point?
I don't know,
He's like, there's no point.
there's no point.
There's no point.
Except that they're perfect and now they're going to die.
Yeah.
But, so she leaves, and then Dr. Roberts immediately decides that he needs to go see her at her apartment. So when he gets to her apartment, he gets there just in time to see
The best...
the greatest stunt ever.
Yes, that was
Do you
quite
agree it was
impressive.
really good?
Yeah, she
Okay.
like landed like on her shoulders, and then her legs like lifted up above her, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
she moved slightly and slowly slid down the side of the car.
She became a vagina taco. And
Yes.
look, I've seen a lot of bad stunts that they've done with dummies. They throw them off roofs and stuff like that, and they just crumple or whatever. But this is a real stunt woman, and I don't know who it was, but
We should look
holy
her up.
crap, did she do a fantastic job. And whatever traction she was in after that stunt, good job, because that was really, really good stunt.
It's probably the best scene in the whole movie.
And she did it in like a little negligee.
I know.
That was a bonus.
Look at her.
Yeah.
See
Anyway,
booty.
there's a Porsche 928 in this movie, so points. Anyway, I'm sorry. Let's move on to Paul Reston.
Very important in the film.
So Paul Reston is the main baddie in this movie. He's the white-haired guy who runs
Digital Matrix.
Yeah, but
No,
what's the
his
other
wife
thing?
runs Digital Matrix.
His wife, yes, but what was the other company? The other company was called. Nope, I only wrote down Digital Matrix. So
You'll have to watch it and find out.
Reston something, Reston Industries, I guess is what it's called.
The commercials
But-
and
Yeah.
what did he say?
She was excited to go to this party. What are you doing? Are you playing Nintendo? What was that? She was excited to go to this.
Pinball. There we go. Pinball.
Oh, they make pinball machines. Yes.
Yes.
All kinds of stuff. This major conglomerate in
That's what
27
that was.
countries.
Pinball.
Oh, pinball. Have you ever played pinball, by the way?
That's me trying to hit the little buttons on the side.
But you've actually played a real pinball machine? That's amazing. How
No,
old are
it
you?
was a Playboy. It was a Playboy Bunny one, like a vintage Playboy Bunny
Nice.
pinball machine. It
I
was
played
great.
that. I played that one.
Yeah.
Are you 22?
22. Yep.
Hey,
You got it.
I should work at the circus. So I should have asked you that before I had you drink beer. But anyway,
Yeah, maybe. With my baby face, you never know.
You never know.
I didn't know. So Paul Reston is the main guy who does all the commercials in LA area, and that's why Cindy is super excited to go to this party that she didn't want to go to with Dr. Roberts, because Dr. Roberts doesn't date his patients, but he
Right.
sort of does, or he
Probably
dodges
just-
the question.
He dodges the question. Yes.
Very good. You did point that out, where I was just like, wait a second.
He probably just them and then like moves on with his life.
What a
I mean,
life.
if you want to call that dating.
Well, that's what dating is now. I mean, it's
No, that's
Netflix
just
and-
messing around. That's just fooling around.
Netflix and chill weirdness is
Nothing wrong with a Netflix and chill.
so that one. Oh, so okay,
What
so
are we talking about?
at one point they're on the beach trying to make a commercial.
Yes.
She got drunk at the Reston party.
Yes.
And then he took her to his place on the beach and did not have
Was
sex with
on
her.
top of her.
This close, by the way.
Yeah. And then walked away.
That is uncomfortably close to talk to anyone, ever. Movies. Anyway, and he just went into his room to go to sleep and masturbate. So
Probably.
that's what I would think. So she wakes up the next morning. She's hungover, maybe putting bags of ice on her face.
Yeah.
Is that
on
what you
her
do?
eyes.
Does that work?
I don't know. Probably a little bit coolness, like gets rid of some of the puffiness.
So does Preparation H. Okay. I wrote down slow motion frustration.
What did I write for that?
She was trying to do this
Slow.
move like 18 times, and it was all in frustration. Oh, the guy was going.
Oh, I just wrote.
I can't do it.
I just wrote lip flaps.
I can't. Ow. That could
flaps.
be interpreted different ways. Oh no! My phone is up
Silent.
there. Yeah. So we talked about lip flaps, and that was the director of the commercial being very frustrated because she couldn't
Yeah.
fall properly. I can't do that.
But it was in slow motion. So
Oh, I did
you
it.
know.
Okay, good. It was in super slow motion.
Super.
Okay. So, what the hell? Why do I have? Oh, okay. So later they go to digital imaging.
Well, no, we skipped the part where they gave away the f***ing plot.
Oh, this was at the resting
dinner
party. Okay, this was at the resting party
Before
where
the lip flaps.
so they have a very awkward conversation at the dinner table about his involvement in these girls' murders that he has worked on. Myrtles. And that was awkward. And then and then they say, oh, it was probably just a coincidence.
Yes.
Yeah, that 3 of the models that this guy has worked on are now dead.
Yeah. And then he was like, they're all connected to this company called Digital Matrix.
Digital Matrix.
And the guy was like,
Digital Matrix. Well, that sounds rather sinister, doesn't it, Jennifer? See, Jennifer runs Digital Matrix.
Awkward. Yeah. So later, we
In the
see
dinner party.
Reston and his wife. I never got her name, by the way. I'm just gonna call her bitch because she was kind of bitchy.
the bitch.
So later,
Rich bitch.
Rich bitch. Oh, that's a who sings that song?
Rich bitch. Rich bitch. I'm a rich bitch.
Was it the
on.
Hall & Oates song?
No. She's a rich girl.
And you're going too far, 'cause you know it don't matter anyway.
DeAntwoord? DeAntwoord. Rich bitch. You don't know? I'm playing it right now on the screen behind us. You've never seen this? Heard that?
Pop culture. I'm terrible with pop culture.
You have an education coming to you.
Oh, God.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so in about, what'd you say, about 40 minutes into this film? Maybe it was even less,
Probably wasn't
35.
even 40 minutes. It was like 35, 40 minutes.
They basically lay out the entire plot for us and tell us who the bad guys are
They're
and
like,
what they're doing.
The rich bitch is like,
Do you think he'll know? Like, no, he'll never find out that
Yeah.
we're doing this.
he's like, he'll never find out.
Yeah. Wah, 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 wah.
Twisting the
Twirling
little
his mustache. Okay, so shortly thereafter, she is invited to go, after she fails at the commercial, she's invited to go to digital imaging, or Digital Matrix,
Digital Matrix.
to have her image captured. Okay, and so she goes into what looks like an industrial wood chipper, but it's got fancy lights and
Yeah, it's like a little lit up
pluses
circular
and stuff
thing.
like that, and she makes a rape joke. It's very funny. 1981, rape jokes are okay.
Help! Rape! Please do not move your lower jaw.
It was just a joke.
Why do I have?
And you see her boobs
You do, and her butt.
and her butt.
And I could have sworn when I was 12 I saw Bush, but
No, wait.
we're pretty
Bush.
sure.
We've got Bush.
Anyway,
I'm just like, I
do you
can't
know
stop.
in the 80s, R-rated films were like wild abandon. You could show Bush in 80s films. In fact, there is a PG movie called The Woman in Red. It was I can't remember the girl's name, but Gene Wilder. And there is a Bush shot in a PG movie.
I wish Instagram would allow that. I have my bush. Women who shave can like show their pubic area, no problem. And because I have a bush, I have to censor the whole thing.
Yeah. If you show one pubic hair, nope,
Gone.
not good.
Although I've
but
had photos removed of me in lingerie too. So
at 49:45, Dr. knucklehead, Dr.
Rustin?
Roberts.
Oh, Roberts.
What was his first name?
I don't
She
remember.
said it a couple times, but
Let's go with
so
John.
Dr. Roberts and Cindy break into the digital matrix.
Yes.
Because he is apparently a detective
Right.
and needs to find out what's going on.
Right. Instead of telling the police.
Yes. Anyway, so they break into the digital matrix and with
we're
a
not in
stolen key card, and they're walking by a room that clearly says research or whatever it says.
Right.
And she says,
What's that?
Testing lab.
Right, I told you it's just a research laboratory.
it's like,
I don't know.
Read the sign on the wall. Anyway, and that's about where you said, where are the cops?
Yeah, where are the cops?
Because that's the way
Because this whole movie's happening, and I'm like, where are the fucking cops in all this?
they should be there.
They should be there.
They're not very good at being
No.
cops. Nuns.
Nuns.
My notes got a little spotty towards
the end.
after the halfway point of the movie because I wasn't really paying much attention.
I was more focused on eating popcorn, to be
You
quite
were very
honest.
hungry, so we made some popcorn. Not this popcorn. This is new popcorn. New popcorn.
I'm about to eat 2 bags
You're
of popcorn
still eating
tonight.
popcorn. I should have fed you. Don't feed the models. Anyway, James Coburn lookalike is actually Paul Reston. I don't think he's actually James Coburn. I think he's
Oh.
a lookalike. Anyway, where are we in this movie? I'm not really sure what's going on.
Nuns.
There was a car chase. And they
Okay, so
they
the
rented a-
break-in was in the middle of the night, and then they flipped to the car chase, and it's broad daylight.
Oh, that's right. This,
Yeah.
this chase must have been going on for like 5 hours. It was amazing. Anyway, they almost ran into nuns, and then he ended up Dukes of Hazzard style jumping his Porsche
Over a
bush into
A fountain.
a fountain.
His car was pristine. It was
Yeah.
in perfect shape.
It's like they picked it up with a forklift and just set it in there.
Yeah, that's probably what they did.
He did have a little bit of bush on his windshield.
There's the bush.
You dropped some popcorn there. You dropped more popcorn. Good. Okay. So she's a hot mess. Let's talk a little bit about where this movie goes and how it ends, because I don't even care.
It doesn't really go anywhere. It just happens.
Okay. So here's something that I offered, and maybe you agree, maybe you disagree, but I feel like this was a 60-minute idea that was stretched out to 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes went on way too long. Some of the exposition was clunky and just stupid, and then some of the scenes were just completely unnecessary. They could have gotten to the end without most of it, because they didn't really have a good ending.
Oh, like that scene with like the suitcase on wheels.
Oh, let's talk about that. So while they have broken into Digital Matrix, they can't get into the Looker Lab, which is where he really wants to go, because that sounds exciting. Looker Lab. Then he decides that his key card will work in the storage room, because storage. So they go into the storage room, and idiot girl says,
What's in here?
I don't know.
storage? I don't know,
Just like the research room.
First of all, how would Dr. Roberts know what's in this room? And second of all, read the f***ing sign, because it said storage. Anyway, so they go in there, and what follows is a 4-minute scene where a stupid little robot almost like hits her in the head with this convoluted articulating thing that plugs into a wall.
It's like its arm.
Yeah, it's like a weird, and then it decides to take out the garbage.
And this tiny little trash can that's probably this big.
It was about as big as this bucket, and there were 3 pieces of crumbled up trash in there.
That didn't go anywhere in the machine, because you could clearly see
You
into
could clearly
the machine.
see it was all machinery inside. Anyway,
No
so
paper.
they decide that this thing is going to get them into the Looker Lab, because it follows little tracks on the ground. On the ground.
On the floor.
On the ground.
Words.
They escape me. So instead of allowing the little trash robot to open the door and then they just go into the Looker Lab, they decide they're going to sit on it as it goes in, because a trash robot should be able to sustain 300 or so pounds of people as it rolls.
Yes.
Not really. Okay, so they finally get into the Looker lab, and Dr. Roberts discovers that the Looker device is a flashy gun that makes people
Stunned.
pause.
Yeah, they're like Will Ferrell guy did it really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's better with a mustache. I mean, it would be way better.
We should
with
have
a
got some
mustache.
mustaches.
I could have. I didn't have time. Anyway, so there's a very long fight in the Looker lab with 70s Will Ferrell.
I think the fight was like a solid 8 minutes.
Way too long.
Yeah.
That could have been done in 2 minutes, and we would have been perfectly happy in understanding what happened. So 70s Will Ferrell finally gets kicked in the nuts, and then Dr. Roberts grabs Cindy, who is pretty useless. I mean, she's a useless character.
She's just there. She's a pretty face.
She is pretty, though. Yeah, so they escape, and then hilarity ensues, and they eventually... we have to talk about how Dr. Roberts hides in cars.
Yeah, it's a thing.
He's a master at hiding in cars.
Yeah. Nobody can find him in cars.
Nobody can find him. We're at the point where he decides to hide in what he thinks is a police car after his Dukes of Hazzard jump into the pond.
Right.
Or into the what is it called?
The fountain.
Fountain words. So they don't discover him until he pops up. Oh, it was nighttime by then too, right?
Yeah, and he was like sweating.
How late? Because it was in the middle of the day when he launched. Okay.
He pops up and it's night and he's like soaked in sweat.
The timing.
And he just sits up
The time in this movie is all
calmly,
weird.
and he's like,
Hello.
hello, police officers. And his little like kind of Boston, but not really.
You couldn't place the accent, and I couldn't really offer anything to you except for maybe Boston. It actually turns out this is a digital matrix, or excuse me, a Reston Industries security. It's a security car from Reston Industries. You know what? I can Photoshop these pictures. Anyway, yeah, so they are going to a big press conference that Mr. Paul Reston is going to be giving to, I don't know, a bunch of important people to show his new technology of using computer-generated people.
Did we forget to talk about like the political like?
There is a political undertone in this whole thing.
Very minor.
Where they're trying to get this particular person elected to president. So basically, what they do is they have captured, they've captured Cindy, and they've handcuffed her to something, and she needs her hand loosened. And I'm not kidding; she actually said that line.
Could you loosen my hand? Later. It hurts. I mean, it really hurts a lot.
Can you loosen my
hand?
No, and I'm not a doctor. So Mrs. Bitch has to start the electronics to show the audience members or the party, whoever,
like their
this
thing.
works. Yeah, and
which is why they scanned Cindy earlier.
That's right.
Yes.
Rape. Funny. Anyway, all right, and then so there are gun battles. There are flashy
if you can call
battles.
them a gun battle.
They were weak.
They were.
70s, Will Ferrell has a silencer on his gun so nobody hears it, which is obviously the way silencers work on guns.
Right, you don't hear a thing.
That's not true. Let's move on. What's the quality of this movie like?
The quality? Mm-hmm. What kind of...
Like, was it total shit quality? Like, the sound and the music was awful? Or
okay, the music was pretty consistent.
She's a looker, that's what they say. She's got it all, yeah, she's got it made.
I was listening to the music, and it was a very consistent...
it was very 80s.
Very 80s, very consistent. Like, they had, like, the 80s droning synths.
Oh, yeah.
Like, through the majority of the movie, and then the other music, with, like, the bomb underneath.
Yeah, it was really good, I thought, for 80s.
And then they brought back the Vivaldi, too.
That's
at
right.
2 other parts, they played classical music. So everything was consistent.
So, a little bit of everything for everyone.
Yes.
Okay. I thought the quality was pretty good for what it was. They don't make movies like they did in the 80s anymore. So somebody who has only maybe seen more recent movies, they won't really enjoy the long shots.
They won't get into it at all.
Probably not.
No, they'll be on their
Anyway, there were
smartphones.
there was a couple of interesting shots, but other than that, not so good. Special effects. Yeah.
I mean, but it's the 80s, so like...
I will mention that the CGI was amazing for 1981. And the reason why I say this is because everybody makes a big deal out of Tron, which I believe was 1982. And that was the film that everybody looks to and says, oh my God, CGI is all of a sudden something that can be in movies. But this movie had a good deal of CGI that was created for it. And this was a year before Tron. So, I mean, take that for what it's worth. I think it was pretty cool.
There wasn't like a ton of it though.
Not a ton.
You know?
It was used sparingly because
Yeah.
they probably blew their budget.
with the trash robot.
Quite a bit with the trash robot. Yeah. Some prop master was so proud of that.
Super stoked.
So proud of that trash robot.
I only have 2 things written after nuns.
Oh well.
That's how
you know
little
what?
I wrote.
I didn't have a whole lot after nuns either.
I wrote, enjoy the commercial photobombs.
Oh, that's right. Because at the very end, they were showing off these commercials in real sets with digital actors, but because it was composited, and they were doing their gun battles during it,
Yeah,
so they were showing up in the
yeah.
commercials.
Yes.
Which was actually kind
At
of
the party
funny.
that they were showing everyone their products.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
And it worked. Let's just go ahead and wrap this bitch up. Nova,
Yes.
would you say that this movie works?
No.
Oh no. Well, we have to.
If this is a murder mystery and you give away who does the murders 35 minutes into the movie, that does not work.
You know what?
It's not a mystery.
I have to kind of give you that. You're right. It's not a mystery if they give it away 1/3 of the way through the movie.
Right. Not even halfway.
So at that point, all we're left with is that it's kind of a sci-fi satire.
Right. There's like no point to the
social
rest
commentary
of the movie.
type of thing where they talk about people being sucked into advertising and the pursuit of perfection
Right.
through plastic surgery and or computers, but I will reluctantly agree with you that this movie doesn't work, and that would probably explain why nobody's seen it.
Did I break your little child heart?
Not really,
No.
because as I view it more and more times as an adult, I see it for what it is. It's
Yeah.
crap. And really, what I was enamored with as a 12-year-old was boobs. So this was a movie that had boobs in it, and
So there you go. Watch Looker because boobs.
because boobs.
But you won't get very many butts. Butts wasn't a thing in the 80s.
There was one butt. There was a good butt as she was spinning around.
Oh, true.
Yeah, good
One butt. One butt.
And her butt was actually pretty good as in in comparison with the first girl's butt, who was
It was
flat.
her back connected to her legs. There was no butt. We are terrible.
I'm glad we're done with that. Women, you should have butts. I mean, that's
But if you don't have a butt, it's okay. I'm sorry.
not okay. You gotta have a butt.
I do not
It's-
condone this thought process.
You're right. It's, not everybody can have a butt. The very last thing that we're going to talk about is how many adult beverages would you think it would take to truly enjoy this movie?
All of them.
Okie dokie. All of them.
All of them.
Now, this is not fair because you had no alcoholic beverages
no alcohol
during the
this
viewing of
movie,
this
so
film.
I'm just like,
So that's not really fair of you to say, but I'll accept all of them. However,
that's the amount that I wish I had.
fair.
All of them.
We're not allowed to give infinites on this show, so you actually have to give me a number.
Okay,
that
so, like,
if
what-
you and 3 of your model friends, because this is sort of about modeling, and it's easy to make fun of if you're models. Mm-hmm. If 3 of your model friends and you were sitting down with, I don't know, 30 bottles of wine, how many glasses or how many drinks do you think it would take to kind of really
So
enjoy
if we're doing wine, I would need like a solid 3 glasses.
3 glasses, okay.
Before I start to feel okay. 4 if I want to feel great.
this not just to
With
be
popcorn.
silly. This is to actually kind of enjoy this
Enjoy
movie,
the
in
movie.
a way.
In a way, because like after they gave away the
movie was over at that point.
The
It's just
movie
like,
was over in 35
wow.
minutes, so I'm like stuck here watching this movie for another hour.
I like stuck here. That's good. Thank you. Okay. Well, okay. So she's going to say 3 glasses of wine, and I'm going to. I'm actually going to match her, and I'm going to say 3 alcoholic beverages, beers, or whatever you're going to be doing. This movie was way better in 1982, 83 when I was watching it, but it kind of holds up. And the reason why I'm going to say that is because it introduces some interesting ideas about models looking for perfection through surgery. It raises interesting questions about or ideas about where people look in advertising. And I believe they actually do studies on that, of where your eye actually looks in a commercial. So, I mean, they were pretty ahead of their time in some of the things that they were doing as far as ideas of how models and plastic surgery and advertising kind of works. So in that sense, it sort of holds up. And you have to understand, this movie is 35 years old. 35 years old. That's a long... You just eat your popcorn. That was a long time ago. All right, anyway. So, Nova, I absolutely want to thank you so much for coming here and doing this stupid show of mine. And
It was fun.
What you saw in the very beginning was some photos that we are doing in the future, in the near future. I've set up a
In
really...
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I set up a really ridiculous set, and so that's what you saw in the beginning. What you're seeing right now are shots that we did before we watched the movie, and these are kind of inspired by the film, and you'll kind of understand what they are, because I think she looks very much like Cindy.
There we go. I need to put it in the bun.
There you
Is
go.
that what it is?
There, right, that. And all of a sudden,
Cindy.
Yes. So. I want to thank you so much for coming and doing this and doing all the shoots, and that's about it. So we will see you next time on Models and Movies. This has been Nova, and you are once again seeing her Instagram right here. So go look at it, join, or what do you do? Follow. Go follow her. Be one of the 35,000. 6. Maybe you'll be 37,000. Win. And again, thank you so much for watching, and subscribe, tell your mom, bye.